Right, so this lesson is about ratio, and a ratio is something that we can write as something like 1 to 2, okay? And what this means is that for every one thing that I get, you get two of them. So this could be it could be money. It could be for every £1 I get, you get two, or it could be apples, or it could be cars. But basically, what it does mean is that you have double what I do. And with ratios, we don't necessarily have to express it as 1 to something. Okay, it could be 14 to 21. So it could be for every £14 I get, you get 21. But the interesting thing with ratios is that you can treat them just like fractions. And so can you see how I can divide 14 and 21 by 7? So if I do that, I'm left with 2 to 3. And this process is called simplifying, in the same way that we could simplify a fraction. So if you can cancel down a ratio in the same way that you could cancel down a fraction, then you should do so. It could be a little bit more complicated than that. It could be something like 72 to 108. Both of these can be divided by 12, and if I do that I get 6 to 9, and it's at this stage that I realise that they can be divided by 3, so that will give me 2 to 3. And actually, this is exactly the same ratio as 14 to 21. Now what we've considered here are just two ratios, so ratios involving two people. But there's no reason that we couldn't have something like 15 to 25 to 45. So it could be the ratio of money that we've got for three people. And hopefully you're thinking here that we can divide everything by 5. And I can. And we get our ratio in its simplest form. So basically, if this is for person A, B and C, it tells you how much of a thing they get each. Okay, on to an exam type question. And so what we've got are three brothers, and they are 6, 9 and 15. Now we've got £630 to be shared between them. But you can see that the 9-year-old is going to get more than the 6-year-old, and the 15-year-old is going to get more than the 9-year-old. But the question is, how much money are they going to get between them? So let's have a look. So here's the solution. If we have a look at 6 to 9 to 15, the first thing that we should really do is to simplify that ratio. So you can see that each of those will be divided by 3. So this can simplify to 2 to 3 to 5. Now, if we add these up, we can see that 2 plus 3 plus 5 equals 10. What that tells us is, this is very important, if we add up all of our numbers 2, 3 and 5, we find out that there are 10 shares altogether. This is the important thing. We add, and that tells us that we've got 10 shares altogether. So, we had £630, and if we divide that by 10, that gives us 63, which tells us what one share is worth. So the 6-year-old will get 2 shares, which is going to be £126. The 9-year-old will get 3 shares, so 3 63s are 189, and the 15-year-old will get £315. So, because I've done, in this one, I've done what one share is worth, 63 times 2. In this one, I've done 63 times 3. And in this one, I've done 63 times 5. So, look at what we did here. We simplified. That was the first thing that we did. We then added all our shares together, and we did our money divided by 10 shares to find out what one share was worth. So that's very important. Then when you found out what one share is worth, you can multiply by 2, by 3, by 5 to work out what each person gets. This is your work for today. Okay.